And the Odyssey. Oh, man. Nolan, please do not let us down, or I swear to God. Thank you and good night.
7 months later.
Just got back from seeing the Odyssey and... oh, man. I'm so freaking tired. Editor, cut to the intro. Hello, my fellow audience. Welcome back to Ronan's Tomatoes. And unlike last time, I'm gonna get right into the review and say that the Odyssey is great. But at the same time, it feels like a step down from Nolan's previous work, Oppenheimer, which for a long time was my favorite movie. This review is going to come from someone who hasn't read the Odyssey a day in his life. Let me start by talking about the negatives in this movie. I have heard of its controversy surrounding the cast, the costume design, and the dialogue, and yeah, I can get behind 85% of it, but a lot of the claims feel like nothing but rage bait. Everyone's reaction to the cast was the exact same as when the Super Mario Bros. Movie cast was revealed, but even worse. I'm sorry I have to say this, but I think Tom Holland's role as Telemachus was one of the weaker roles. I get that the character is young, but I'm so sick and tired of Tom Holland being Hollywood's go-to casting for any young boy role. I know I said I haven't read the Odyssey, but there's a rendition of the story that I really like. Epic the Musical. Telemachus's role in that is much more memorable. I'm not a musical person, but believe me guys, this is not going to be the last time I will bring up Epic in this review. Another nitpick I had was the dialogue and the pacing. The dialogue feels like it was lifted from a DC superhero movie, and considering that everyone was clowning on the trailers using dad and daddy, I can confirm 100% that that still applies to this movie. Speaking of dialogue, take a shot every single time you hear a character say something about Zeus's law. I guarantee you, you will not make it through the night. And my final nitpick is its pacing. There are some scenes that go too fast, others too slow, but most of the scenes just blow by quickly. The giant scene happens way too fast that I can't even immerse myself within the action or the story they're trying to tell. Even the editing doesn't help with that either. With that said, I think the giants look really badass. I just would have loved for them to be a little bit more taller in order to complete the illusion. Now that I got all the negatives out of the way, let's talk about the good/really great stuff. I love how they began the movie with the Trojan horse, and I love the various time jumps within the story. The cinematography, while not as grandiose as Oppenheimer, still satisfies the need to see this in IMAX. Disclaimer, when I went to see the Odyssey in 70mm, the screen kept flickering, and all I can say is, I'm grateful I don't have epilepsy. Ignoring that aspect, the compositions on the shots are extraordinary and well thought out. Nolan knew exactly what he was doing when composing the shots to this movie. I love how Nolan decided to make the Cyclops a puppet instead of a CGI monster. This harkens back to movies like Jaws, and that's so refreshing to see in a world full of CGI and AI slop. Seeing a director like Nolan recognize this can open eyes to upcoming directors, even ones who are indie. Not to mention the set design is historically accurate and authentic to the events of the source material. At least I think it is. I don't know, I haven't read the book, but point is, it looks really freaking good. I don't think anybody on the set design team got a lot of credit, but they truly deserve recognition because what they were able to achieve was insane. Think about it. You're doing a set design for Christopher Nolan, one of the greatest filmmakers in most recent memory. Think about that for a second. And to no one's surprise, Ludwig Göransson did indeed cook with the score. It is abundantly clear that he can do no wrong, even when scoring a weak movie. I'm looking at you, Mandalorian and Grogu. But with the Odyssey score, he does everything he can to make you feel like you're watching a Greek mythology. The harp strings, the percussion of the drums, everything. Mwah! Chef's kiss. If he doesn't win Best Original Score, I don't know who else will. Coming back to Epic the Musical, they even used Odysseus's riff from Epic primarily in the movie. I won't play it because of copyright issues, but if you're an Epic fan and you've seen the movie, you'll know. The movie also has an incredible use of sound design. The sound design gets its moment to shine in a later moment in the movie, which I won't spoil, but it was so perfect that I nearly went deaf and I could have feelings for Odysseus. Speaking of Odysseus, I need to talk about the incredible performance from Matt Damon.
Matt
damn it.
I know this is the 4th time of him playing a role of a man who's trying to come home, but he truly kills it in this role. The dialogue out of his mouth contains so much emotion that the audience can feel for this character. When he feels like he's failed his men, he really showcases that feeling of grief, and the moment when he says to Athena in sheer defeat, "Help me go home," it is impossible for you not to feel bad for Odysseus because of the pain he has gone throughout his voyage. Given that the movie was rated R, at first I thought it was not necessary, but after seeing this movie in person, oh yeah, it definitely earned that rating. There's one scene with Circe in the movie that was so graphic and gruesome that I'm sure if you've read the book or seen the movie, you'll know exactly what it is. Watching it in the theater was absolutely insane. It's one thing to be a step down from Oppenheimer, but it's another when you still make a great movie. And this is exactly what this movie does. I would recommend going into this movie with not too much expectations, because if you do, you're likely going to get disappointed after coming out of this movie. The Odyssey, despite it being shy from being my favorite movie of the year, is still a great and compelling movie that is worth your time and money. And with that, I am giving it 8 Ronan's Tomatoes out of 10. This goes to show that Christopher Nolan never misses, and even his lowest rated movies like Tenet are still considered good. And by all means, if Christopher Nolan wants to keep making movies, you go right ahead, buddy. You are truly legendary. Thank you for watching this edition of Ronan's Tomatoes. I'm Ronan Daglish, and that's a wrap.